If you look younger than your age, that means you're aging slower. And if you look older than your age, that means you're aging at a faster rate, which means you will live less years. And I'll explain why. So the concept is Neoteny, and I'm going to release a hypothesis in the upcoming days that also correlates to my existing hypothesis called the Hominin Boundary Detection Hypothesis, which in essence it explains how humans set up boundaries to identify hominins to be in their group or out of their group. So I'll get back to Neoteny. Neoteny is essentially the retention of juvenile features, and this has been the key component of why humans will look the way we look, and why humans also prevail amongst other hominins, because it benefits us in many different ways. One of them is the ability to keep learning uh, for many more years than other hominins, because it allows for brain plasticity. So many people nowadays talk about on social media that, oh, why are you talking to someone that hasn't even developed their prefrontal cortex? Because in estimate, the prefrontal cortex, it develops up to the age of 25 completely, but during those years while it's still developing and you still have brain plasticity, that's when you can learn more. That's when you can adapt to other social boundaries much better. So that explains why the younger you are, the easier it is to learn new languages, new boundaries, which will allow you to adapt to different groups of hominins or people, or in this case different countries, right? So this is also why immigrants are more accepted to different countries when they're younger, because they know that they will adapt easier than an older adult. And that's because, like I said, brain plasticity allows for learning. So when someone is younger or looks younger, that means they can be more adaptable and also more accepted in a different group, because people just think, okay, this person is going to learn our boundaries. And also because we all have this innate nature to take care of younger people, younger kids, and juvenile looking people. And the reason why is because we want to share knowledge. We want to teach the next generation what we know for the better of humanity. And we know that juvenile humans, they need protection, so we also provide protection when we can to those that we see and feel that they need the protection that we can provide. So in a sense, this is also a reason why men like younger women, because women that look younger or that are younger, in an evolutionary psychology, it means that they're more fertile, but also that they can adapt better that for their boundaries, right? Because men want to protect a woman and their family, and also they want to provide a genetic advantage. So they want for their children to live longer. And if a woman, let's say if she's in her 30s but she looks 20 something, then that means she has a genetic advantage because she looks younger. She's aging at a younger rate. And that's a genetic advantage. That means her children are going to live longer because she's also aging slower. And that explains, why men feel attracted to younger women or younger looking women, because they're aging slower and also because they can adapt better. Their prefrontal cortex is not fully developed, which will allow them to learn different boundaries, like I said, to adapt to how this man is living his life. And this will serve better for the family, for the prospect of the union of the couple, and for to have consistency, right, on the relationship, and to educate their children better, because there's some set up norms that the family is going to set up, And if a woman already has boundaries set up that she's not willing to change them, then there will be conflict in the relationship, and it can lead to separation. So that's also a reason why men, psychologically, they think, okay, I need to get a younger woman because she will adapt better, and we will have a more cohesive relationship, more understanding within both of us. And if she is not willing to work with me, cooperate, then it probably won't work out. So that's also another psychological way of men approaching relationships, whether they know it or not. It has to do with neoteny, and also neoteny, it prevails juvenile features, like I said. So that's also why we humans we have a flat face, because it allows for better uh, facial gestures. So even if we don't speak the same language, we can kind of understand what's going on. So when you see someone angry, the facial gestures will indicate you that the person is angry. Or if they're happy, obviously you smile. So there's body language and facial language that you can identify from another human that will give you social clues of what the other human is trying to convey. And Neoteny allows for this because um, it allows for also the positioning of the mouth and the tongue to be in the right position for us to speak. This is also the reason why us humans we can speak and chimps and other apes cannot speak, because when we're babies, essentially chimps and us humans, we have the same skull structure. So we look very similar when we're infants and when we're newborns. The skull is nearly the same, but once a chimp reaches sexual maturity, then the skull changes. The whole physiology changes. Their brows and their mouth completely change, allowing them for them to um, you know have a stronger bite, but it compromises speech and also the brain development. So for us humans, since we age at a slower rate through neoteny because we took it to the extremes, it allows us to learn more for more years. That's also why chimps don't live as much as humans do. Their their age expectation is up to 20-25 years, but us humans up to 100 years, because we're aging at a slower rate, and also our brain is developing at a slower rate, which will allow us to learn more. And that's also a reason why we keep learning more throughout our teens up to our 20s. And that allows for, like I said, language. As neoteny retain our juvenile skull structure with the positioning of the mouth and the tongue on the right place for us to convey sounds that have meaning. And with these adaptations, also, and retaining juvenile features, we look less threatening to other hominins. So when we used to live with other hominins, Neanderthals, the Denisovans, thousands of years ago, and other apes, when a hominin looked younger, it was more socially acceptable because it looked less threatening. And also, like I said, it was perceived as being more adaptable to a group of hominins. So in Asia, people age slower and look also way younger than people in other regions. I'm sorry, way younger. I don't know if I said it all, but they look younger because for thousands of years they cohabited with other hominins, and for a way for them to survive was to look younger. So women adapted this small frame these small frame proportions so they can look younger, they can look juvenile, and their face is also adapted so they can look younger and they can be less looking threatening for other hominins, so they will be less likely to be ended, right? And men, perceive women to that look younger to be more attractive, so they were integrated into their group, and those that look older then they were ended. So through thousands of years of uh, genetic predisposition and optimization, humans kept looking younger and younger through Neoteny, which was an adaptation to survive the in-group and out-group social boundary, as stated on my Hominin Boundary Detection Hypothesis, that it's just a way for us humans, it's our evolutionary psychology to identify hominins that belong to our group or to other groups of people. So if it's a hominin from a different group of people, it could be a threat, and for that we will classify it as a threat. So that could mean conflict, or that could mean welcoming that hominin to our group. So Neoteny allows humans to adapt to different groups of hominins for our survival.